When the human research ship Solace Dawn landed on Narathis 4, the first contact team had no idea they were walking into a civilization that had spent millennia avoiding touch. Among the Narathi, physical closeness was taboo. Affection was expressed through light, scent, and song. To touch another without ritual consent was almost unthinkable. So when Commander James Harrow, a linguist and diplomat, met Tasari Velen, the envoy of the Narathi High Council, their first conversation already teetered on cultural chaos. Tasari was young for her kind, only 90 years old, barely adult, her skin a pearly lilac hue, her eyes deep like liquid opal. When she spoke, her words shimmered, almost sung. "You humans are very direct," she said cautiously. "Your kind speaks of eating those you cherish?" James nearly choked on his water. "Sorry, what?" "In your records," she continued earnestly, "you say, 'He devoured her with his eyes.' Or, 'I could just eat you up.' Do human males consume their females as part of bonding?" He froze, unsure whether to laugh or apologize. No, it's not literal. We don't actually eat anyone. It's just an expression." Sari tilted her head. "A ritual phrase of ownership, then?" James sighed. "No, it's about admiration. When humans say that, it means we find someone irresistible." She frowned, confused. "Irresistible to digestion?" He smiled weakly. "To emotion." Chapter 2. The curiosity between worlds. Despite the awkward start, their work brought them together daily. James was tasked with teaching the Narathi human idioms, while Tasari taught him their tonal language, a system of melodies instead of words. She was endlessly curious. Every sentence he spoke seemed to open another door. "What is a kiss?" she asked one afternoon. "And why do you press your mouths together?" James rubbed his neck. "It's how humans express affection. Like your songs, but smaller." She leaned forward, fascinated. "It transfers emotion through contact?" "Sort of," he said, laughing nervously. "You're not meant to analyze it too deeply. It's just feeling." Tasari blinked. "Your kind seems to do many irrational things in the name of feeling." "That's true," James admitted, smiling. "But it's what makes us human." She hummed softly, her bioluminescent markings pulsing faintly. "Perhaps that's what makes you dangerous." Chapter 3. The feast invitation. Weeks later, the humans invited the Narathi to their first shared meal. To the Narathi, eating together was private, a biological necessity done in solitude. For them, consumption was intimate and vulnerable, but to the humans it was celebration. When Tasari arrived at the human base, the air smelled of roasted spices and baked bread. She hesitated at the doorway, unsure whether she was witnessing ritual or madness. James spotted her instantly. "Tasari, you made it." Her gaze darted nervously across the tables. "You gather to consume together?" He chuckled. "It's just dinner. You invite others to watch you feed?" "It's a sign of trust," he said gently. "Sharing food means friendship, family." Her expression softened, curiosity winning over caution. "Then perhaps I will learn this trust." He guided her to the table, careful to maintain distance. He'd already learned Narathi skin was sensitive to warmth. When she tasted her first piece of bread, she froze. "It changes form as it enters me," she said in awe. James smiled. "That's digestion." "It is. Intimate," she whispered. He grinned. "Told you dinner was special." Chapter 4. The mistake. A week later, another misunderstanding nearly ended the alliance. Sari was reviewing human literature when she came across a line in a novel. He wanted to eat her alive, to taste every inch of her soul. Horrified, she stormed into James's quarters. "Is this your truth?" she demanded. "That desire drives you to consume the ones you love?" He blinked at her, bewildered. "What? Oh, bloody hell, no." She held up the tablet, trembling. "Then what does it mean?" James took a deep breath. "It means passion, intensity. Humans use the language of hunger to describe longing." "Hunger? Not for flesh," he said quickly, "but for closeness. For understanding. It's wanting someone so much it aches." Tasari stared at him, uncertain. "Your kind's metaphors are dangerous, Commander. You hunger for what you already have." Her words struck him deeper than she knew. That night he couldn't sleep. He kept hearing her voice, her confusion, her honesty. She saw through every layer of civilization to the raw human heart beneath, and strangely he found he didn't mind. Chapter 5. The first touch one evening while teaching her to pronounce human consonants, their hands brushed accidentally. Tsari froze. Her bioluminescent markings flared bright turquoise, a reaction of shock and emotion. James pulled back instantly. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean—" "No," she said softly, her voice trembling like wind over glass. "It's not unpleasant." Her glow pulsed again, slower this time. She reached out, letting her fingers rest against his wrist. "Human warmth isn't strange. You burn," he swallowed hard. "You're cold," he whispered. "Then perhaps we balance." For a long moment neither spoke. The silence between them felt sacred, like the space before a storm. And though neither dared name it, something had changed. Chapter 6. The Night of Light. Narathi invited the humans to a festival marking the dual moon's convergence, a night of singing and light where every citizen shared one truth with another. James went alone, unsure whether he belonged. But when Tsari saw him at the edge of the glowing crowd, she smiled. Radiant, real. "You came," she said softly. "I wouldn't miss it," he replied. She held out a delicate crystal bowl. Inside shimmered luminous nectar, a ceremonial offering. "We exchange it to show honesty. Drink with me?" He hesitated. "Won't that be too intimate?" Her lips curved. "Perhaps it's time we learn what that means." They drank. The liquid was cool, electric. When their eyes met, everything around them blurred into color and light. Tsari reached out, brushing her fingers across his face. "You do not see as we do, yet you look as if you see everything." James caught her hand gently. "I see you. That's enough." Her pulse flickered through her skin like fire under ice. "Commander Harrow," she whispered, "when your people say they eat their beloved, is it because love consumes?" He smiled faintly. "Yes, but not to destroy, to become. To lose yourself in someone and find something larger." She looked at him for a long moment, then whispered, "Then perhaps I understand." And for the first time, she leaned forward and pressed her forehead to his, the Narathi gesture of ultimate trust. He didn't move, didn't breathe, only felt her heart beating through the faint hum of her skin. Chapter 7. The scandal word of their closeness spread quickly. The Narathi council was furious. "You let him touch you?" one elder thundered. "You let a human claim the bond?" Tsari stood her ground. "He claimed nothing. We shared truth. They consume all they love," the elder spat. "They will consume us next." But when they summoned James, expecting denial, he stood beside her unflinching. "If caring is consumption, then yes. I consume her thoughts, her laughter, her courage, and I would give her mine in return." Tsari turned to him, stunned. The council chamber fell silent. Then one of the older envoys, in a pale, trembling figure, and murmured, "Perhaps we have misjudged hunger. Perhaps it is not destruction, but joining." And just like that, the order for James's exile was rescinded. Chapter 8. What she finally understood, months later. The Solace Dawn, prepared to leave Narathis Tsari, came to see James off at the dawn platform. The sky was violet, the air humming softly with the planet's morning light. "You've changed us," she said quietly. "You've changed me." He smiled sadly. "And you've ruined me for Earth. No one there will ever sing like you do." She stepped closer, her eyes shimmering. "When humans say love consumes, it is not because they are hungry, is it?" He shook his head. "It's because love fills every part of you until there's no room left for fear." Her glow brightened. "Then I am glad you have eaten me." He laughed softly. "And I you," when the ship lifted off. The Narathi light singers sent one last melody into the sky, a hymn of joining, not loss. Tsari watched until the flames vanished, whispering into the dawn, "He taught me to hunger, and I am finally full." Chapter 9. Epilogue. The letter years later, in the archives of the Human Narathi Accord, a letter was found. It was written in both languages, one in ink, the other in melody. It read, "Love, I've learned, is not the act of taking, but the courage to let yourself be changed." We say humans eat their beloved because we cannot bear to be apart from what sustains us. She thought I would devour her. Instead, we fed each other into being. The signature at the bottom shimmered faintly, written in two names entwined. James Harrow to Sari Vela and the end.